Hello, my water signs. This is Samantha. I am your digital Delphi Oracle. I woke up this morning and felt compelled to create some little micro videos for each of you, a little micro reading based upon the elements of your signs. And so for these water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, I'm going to be doing a reading for you to connect with the energies of the winter solstice, which, today, tomorrow, the next day are the days that I spend in my own meditations with the winter solstice. It is a time of the air freezing the water that's just usually flowing, water being our emotions, and holding it in stasis, making it be still and frigid, so that way we can stop and we can actually look at it. It suspends it for a moment, and we can take a look at our feelings and our thoughts and air and water trapped in ice, and it gives us a clarity and a sort of crispness in our clarity and our ability to perceive and see things in ways that maybe we couldn't before because it was all moving. And then that consciousness, that awareness is like a little spark of fire that as the spring thaw comes, we melt that. And those feelings and those thoughts, because we gained the wisdom and the enlightenment from it, can then go away and go nurture something else. It changes its form, becomes water, and it nurtures the seeds of your new intentions for the spring. So this is what I'm here to help you do, because I feel very strongly that this is going to be a challenging one for a lot of us. For those of us incarnate here right now at the winter solstice of 2022, it's a challenging time. We've been through a lot the last few years, with this pandemic, and for some of us even, previous to that, there's been stuff going on pretty strongly since, 2016 or so. I've already shuffled these cards before, but now I'm just asking Spirit for a card for each of the signs. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. A little bit about me while I'm shuffling. I'm Samantha. I am a priestess of 40 years, believe it or not. Yeah. And I work as a medium. I have clairaudience, clairvoyance, many of the clairsentience, psychic medium, all that stuff. So, I've done work with paranormal groups as well as training priestesses over a couple of decades. So I have a unique skill set. I also do astrology, things like that. So my water signs, the essence of you being born as a water sign, incarnating into this life as a water sign, is because you're here to carry emotional intelligence, compassion, empathy, imagination. You're the feelers. Lucky you, right? You get to feel the whole world and everybody in it. But the thing about being the water signs and the emotion is that there is wisdom with water. It takes the form of whatever container holds it. It flows, it can be held, it can be poured. It's this wonderfully powerful element. It nurtures things, it grows things. Everything needs it to survive. It's comes from the sky, it comes from the earth, it goes in a cycle, Goes from the oceans, goes into the clouds, rains down on the earth, and it nurtures the things, and then the process begins again, and it causes decay and breakdown, but nurturance and growth. The power of water, of our emotional intelligence and our wisdom, is really profound, and the process through it is a process of everything I just said: nurturance, decay, cycles and waves and tides and things. And it's a really powerful sign to have to incarnate us, because it's really about getting to know you and how you experience things, that the divine is in you as you, not as, channeling some Aphrodite or Venus or Thor or Odin or some. It's not about seeing God or the divine from some outside perspective, but rather experiencing it as an internal resonance of yourself, that the divine is in you as you. And it's true for every sign. It's true for every incarnate being, that the divine is in you as you. Your unique perspective, your skill sets, your gifts, your perceptions, your likes, your preferences, all of that. That is also the divine made manifest. So my water signs for the winter solstice. What you're being asked to look at, be conscious of, and let go. Pisces, you got the Hierophant. It's really interesting that I just prefaced reading this card with what I just said, because again, the divine is in you as you. Not some outside person or guru with a book and a big throne trying to tell you about you. You know about you. The answers to you are in you, not in somebody else, not in their perception of you. Because anybody outside of you can only give you a perception. And their perception is going to be limited by how deeply they perceive themselves. They will only know you as deeply as they know themselves. They'll only be able to be as honest with you as they are with themselves. As within, so without. And this is true for yourself as well. This is a card in the major arcana of being able to be your own authority. That the wisdom, the answers lies within you, because this is also a card of contracts and signing on the dotted line and rules. And how can you do that? How can you show up and sign a document and take responsibility for who you are if you don't know who you are? How can you be responsible and have authority over anything if you take the responsibility and the authority and you give it to somebody else to tell you what to think, what to believe, what to do, right? So Pisces, you're a very interesting sign, because as a Scorpio, I'm sorry, I said Scorpio. Okay. What is that about? Okay. Because the Scorpio, what they're showing me is that the Scorpio has this ability to protect itself, right? Look at that thing. But Pisces, you are a creature that is not walking on the land. You swim in the emotions. So your ways of protecting yourself are going to be really different. You're going to have to, it depends how deep you are, right? But think of it this way. The deeper you go into the ocean, the more interesting the manifestations of the sea creatures become. They become translucent even. They generate light from within themselves, because there's no light in the depths. When they're that deep, they're not relying on whatever light can penetrate into the ocean. They're not relying on the flashiness of their scales and the armor that they've created for themselves to defend themselves from things. In fact, all that does is show them off and they end at lunch, right? They don't need the thickness of the skin, because they're down so deep where the more resistance you have to something in that pressure, the easier it's going to be for you to actually be crushed. So they become so flexible and jelly-like and light generating. They become a completely different, almost alien creature. And what I'm getting in this card for you Pisces is, you know, stop thinking of yourself as just a fish caught in the flow of things. You know, there's more to that Piscean energy than that. You don't always have to go to with the flow. It's great if you can go with the flow, swim upstream if you want to, but there's a depth there as well where the flow doesn't even really matter when you're in that much depth of things. When you truly get into your own authority, into your own wisdom, into the own depth of your own feelings about things, how you feel about it, not how someone else is telling you you should think or feel about it, but in the depth of your own, that will give you what it is that you need to move forward with. You're being asked to let go of this outside influences of thinking and feeling based upon somebody else's perspective, and needing to protect yourself from things in ways that it's the only reason you're needing that protection is because you're not deep enough. Go deeper. Trust yourself. Don't be afraid to generate light from within you, rather than basking in the light of what somebody else is trying to give you, especially in spiritual enlightenment. The truth is in you as you. The divine is in you as you. Honor that. So just somebody else's teachings. Learn them, know them, use them as a guide. They're just stones to build your own temple to yourself with. They're not the temple themselves. Yeah, see, I'm seeing that he's got his left hand raised. This left hand, yeah, right hand with the book, left hand up. This is the active hand, and here it's being passive, and the left hand's the one that's up in a form of blessing and being active. It's saying, I'm not going to be actively chasing and doing and trying to find all of this stuff from somebody else. I'm just going to be receptive, because in the left-hand path, the inner path of reception, it's all in me. It's a receptivity. And I'm getting a feeling this is really important for you, Pisces, because this is sort of like, once you do this, you're never going to go back. You know, your passivity can be a power, not a lack of power. Go deep. Glow from within, you know? Okay, Cancer. You're going down the rabbit hole. That's what I'm getting here. By the way, this is called the Phantom Wise Tarot. I'll just show you. Look at the white rabbit jumping down that rabbit hole. Is that Alice? It's the Fool card. The one willing to go and let their curiosity take them on a brand new adventure. Following the white rabbit means something to somebody else too. Following the white rabbit. And I'm also getting a sense too of, I'm getting that song, I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye, I'm late. You're not late. It will feel, Cancer, you feel like you're too old, or you're missed the opportunity to go on these kinds of adventures and do these kinds of things. It's too wild, it's too crazy. Cancers are interesting. As the crab, you're living in a forward creeping world, but you're a sideway creeping creature. You know? So you're kind of having to view a world that moves this way while you kind of experience the world this way, a little sideways. And because of that, it can kind of seem like the world sometimes passes you by while you're off over here doing this thing that you do, because, you know, that's just how you are. But as the Fool card, it's a 0 point, and this is telling me for the winter solstice for you, Cancer, you have a brand new beginning. You do. You have a brand new beginning. You have a grand adventure that awaits. It might be a little weird, or you might feel like, you know, a little, like I said, too old or unequipped for it. But this is the point of this adventure, is that Alice is definitely not prepared for, you know, what it is that she found down there, you know, talking playing cards and croquet with flamingos and the Mad Hatter's tea party and the Jabberwocky, you know. How do you prepare for that? Seriously. So don't worry about it. You're crab. Got armor. You're good. You can move sideways. You got the skills that you need for you to face this, because it's going to be tailor-made for you. All right. So don't worry about that. Let go of that concern, because the adventure waits for you. So just allow your curiosity to lead you. You're going to be fine. I feel a really, because, okay, what they're showing me is this cat. The Cheshire cat, always grinning, right? But this cat is like watching what's happening, and cats only put themselves in places of good energy. They're not going to hang out where there's bad energy. And this cat is here, this white cat is here to sort of be this thing of, it's all good. This is a good thing. You know, it's a really good feeling energy for you. Yeah, don't worry. Scorpio. This is interesting, Scorpio. You got the 10 of Pentacles, but you got it reversed. And in my 40 years of reading tarot, I don't read cards reversed in the sense that it's a blockage or a negative card or an opposite. It's not how energy reads to me. When I see a card that is upside down, what it is showing me is that there's some sort of an action, a thought, a feeling, an action, a circumstance, a manifestation, something that needs to be put into play to move this energy upright again. So with the 10 of Pentacles, which is a card of everything you want, the happy house, the happy home, the happy family, the good job, the career, all of the successes, right? Manifested in a physical way. The money, the home, the tangible things, the relationship, you know, the warm body in your bed with you every night, whatever it is that it is, your version of success and happiness is showing me you're almost there. Almost there. Don't give up. Let go, but don't give up. Yeah, I'm feeling this sense of like when you're on a roller coaster and you're like, you're just getting to the top and you're starting to feel like, oh my God, why did I get on this ride in the first place? Oh my God. Even though it's going to be over in like 30 seconds, you know, those rides you should wait in line for hours to get onto a ride and it's over in like a minute. You're like, oh, ah. But yet you had a thrill. And that's kind of what I'm getting with this energy of this card. It's that you're kind of like, I want off. But you can't get off this ride because 10 is the number of completion. You're going to have to see this all the way through. You can't get off at this point. You're going to have to just see it through. And when you get to the other side of it, when you come out of it, you're going to have it all. You'll be very happy with the progress of all of this, you know, and how it's manifested itself. But don't give up. As far as the winter solstice energy goes, I think with this being suspended is showing me that you're being asked to kind of look at this. Look at, yeah, because, you know, when you reverse the card, you get the pentagram. Pentacle, pentagram. And in magic, when this is done as a circle, you don't want to undo everything that you've done to this point. Okay, this is a card of hearing self-sabotage. Like, don't do that. Okay, you've worked very hard for this. So many times, Scorpio, you've gotten so close to success. But then that happens and you just kind of like, oh, I've got this thing over here. Because, you know, don't be afraid. You're almost there and it's going to be really great. I feel such a good energy from this card. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's it. That's it for you, Scorpio. Let me go ahead and read from my Delphi Oracle here real quick. I'm just going to get a card, and it's going to solidify, kind of like condense down what it is for all of you water signs for the winter solstice that you need to become aware of. Okay, thank you. Synthesis. Ooh, you got the Ankh in the Babylonian bull there. You can see that. There you go. Yeah, synthesis. Yeah, again, I know all of this really distilling down Pisces, you know, distilling, synthesizing what it is that's you know, your own depth, your own light. There you go. Also for you, Cancer, synthesis, you know, trusting that you have whatever it takes to go on this adventure and don't be afraid of it, you know, whatever little off-kilter ways you have of things are perfect for this adventure. And again, Scorpio. Listen to what you say to yourself. Synthesis, just getting this kind of, I'm hearing, I know I got music playing, but I'm hearing a song. I don't know if somebody's like writing lyrics or writing music, but synthesis, I keep hearing synthesizer. For those of us in the 80s, synthesizers were all the rage, and it's about taking and changing waveforms to get the exact sound that you want so that we can play around with frequency. Listen to the frequency. The words that you are saying are creating a frequency that will determine the outcome of your adventure, be it success or otherwise. So be very careful of your pitch and the waveform that you are creating with your words and your thoughts. Self-talk, very important for all the water signs. Okay, you've got this. You can feel it. You can feel it. You got this. All right. I hope this helps you. Okay, have a wonderful solstice, and I'll see you on the other side.